Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we finished up with a prologue. Now we are going to start right into the first chapter. One thing I want to mention before that, this morning when I got up, my head was throbbing, and every time I've gotten up since then, my head has been aching as well. My throat is a little parched, and judging from my refined medicinal knowledge I've gained over the last 20 years, I would hazard to guess that I've caught on to a cold, which is a bummer. But yeah. So I'm glad that there's voice acting in-game and I don't have to do it, because that would leave my voice, like, dead. Okay, 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks, basically, on a Saturday now. Thors Military Academy, the 3rd Dormitory.
All right. Time to get going.
Oh, Rean!
Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Are you heading to school now too? How about we walk there together?
Sure. It's getting late though, so we might need to pick up the pace a little.
No problem. I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
I think so. I'm not sensing anyone else on this floor, at least.
How can you sense that?
Gaius in particular is probably long gone by now, being the early riser he is.
Oh, okay then. He's not sensing anyone? What does that mean exactly?
Huh.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning! Are you two on your way to school?
Yeah. Come on, Emma. We're going to be late. Hey, wait for me, Elisa. We'll see you in class.
I never would have guessed she'd hold a grudge this long.
Been 2.5 weeks. So, yeah, I'm amazed.
She knows it was just an accident, right? She has to. Can't believe she'd be so sensitive.
No kidding. She's not even giving me a chance to apologize to her.
Well, as long as you keep trying, I'm sure she'll understand. Eventually. Class 7's got enough tension as it is, what with our two, prideful warriors at each other's throats. So I think it would be a load off everyone's mind if you and Elisa could make up at least.
I'll certainly do what I can, whatever that may be.
What is that noise? Dun 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 dun. Who's thumping there?
These past 2 weeks have really flown by, haven't they? It's funny, I went into this thinking combat practice would be the toughest part of the curriculum. Never would have guessed the academic side of things might give it a run for its money.
Well, strong in body and mind is pretty firmly embedded into Imperial culture. I do get what you mean, though. I figured I'd be able to coast through the year, but I've had to very quickly reevaluate that.
You too, huh? I wish I were as smart as Machias or Emma. They don't seem to be having any problems at all. But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam, and I'll bet you anything Machias wasn't far behind.
I'm sure. Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well too. As are Laura and Gaius.
Really? Guess I'm just gonna have to suck it up then. Though I really do hope they don't mind.
Huh? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, sorry. You got me thinking about Eustace and Laura. I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody else, but they're both nobles, right? And Eustace's family rules over the whole eastern side of the Empire, so it kind of feels like I should address them more formally.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, they both said it was okay, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Though you probably shouldn't go picking fights with Eustace every chance you get, like a certain someone else.
Oh, I don't plan on it. I'd hoped they'd get along a bit better over time, but if anything, things seem to be spiraling downhill fast on that end. When the two of them are in the same room, there's just this constant tension in the air.
It's not all Machias either. Eustace seems to enjoy provoking him at every opportunity. I can't even imagine what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point.
Well, a very strong common foe, for example. That's worked in the past.
Yeah, I wish there was something we could do to help them get along. And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common folk like us.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Rean, what about that tone of voice? That almost sounds like you wanted to say, yeah, you'd think I was gonna be down there, but I wouldn't be.
I'm still kind of shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory. Though, to be fair, I think that building was abandoned till this year. Seems like they renovated it just for us.
Well, they did a good job. It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey, you're in our way. Step aside at once. Class 7, I see.
Is something the matter?
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving.
Yes, Patrick! A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are. Never forget your place.
That would have made Machias draw his shotgun.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles. Thank goodness Laura and Eustace aren't like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. That's the infamous dormitory number 1, where all the nobility lives. It's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and butlers and everything.
Wow, really? Guess that's our cue to pick up the pace.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't sound like you have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking. It's hard to decide on one.
Then don't. Take part in every club. Oh wait, you can't split yourself, right? Isn't it a Saturday and they're going to school?
Stand, bow. Be seated.
As I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian Empire was driven to the brink of collapse roughly 250 years ago.
Do you see all these straight backs on everybody? Dreikel's is on the blackboard. Anything else? Hover. That's the only thing I can read. Nope, there's no way to read the rest of it. Thomas Lysander. Nice
This
glasses.
was brought about by the conflict we know as the War of the Lions.
There's no way to read what's on the blackboard there, is there?
A civil war lasting several years, staged over the throne of the late emperor by the most powerful of his potential successors. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that. If I were, I think even young children would be able to pass this course. Rather, I'd like to discuss the effects this had on the Empire as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war. Many hired mercenaries turned to looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low. But then, lo and behold, into this nightmare stepped a man willing to take a stand against this bloody war of succession. He was a wandering prince who began to rally forces from the outskirts of the Empire, and would go on to make quite a name for himself.
Drygles.
And that name, of course, was Drykels Rysei Arnor. He would later become known as Drykels the Lionheart, the 73rd Emperor of Erebonia, and father of the Renaissance. Not to mention the founder of this very academy. Drykels' army was initially rather small in number. But as he traveled across the Empire, winning over the hearts of influential sympathizers, his forces rapidly increased. Now, the place where Emperor Drykels first began gathering his army was... Rean Schwarzer, would you care to tell the class?
The place where Drykels first started to gather his army was the... Merchant Guild of Crossbell. Like, this is a civil war type situation. Why would he start that in a merchant city? I don't think, and in Crossbell even. Crossbell is not Erebonia. Crossbell is a neighboring country. A very small one at that, with many problems of itself. I don't think he would start there. Verdant City of Bereahard, or Nord Highlands. What's Bereahard? That's hard. That's hard. I have a mind to choose Verdant City of Bereahard, but I'm not gonna because I was told multiple times this is the right answer. I know, it's kind of, I'm being put in a bad spot because I can't think of myself what the right answer would be, but what do we really know of Bereahard? Bereahard got mentioned multiple times during these 10 episodes, yes. I know that, but in what context? I don't... The North Highlands didn't get mentioned at all. It sounds like a rural area where he would have a tough time starting out, honestly. Why would Drykels start out in a rural area with a small army and then move toward a greater goal moving across the country? And this, from what I can tell, Erebonia is quite large, so it would be very tough on the army moving through that area. And again, it is small. What goes for the North Highlands? Verdant City of Bereahard. But starting out in a city, would that be the best? Like, if I knew a civil war was going on, or a lot of pillaging and looting was going on, then in the cities, the pillaging and looting would be, like, basically the worst. Some of the more rural areas would hardly be touched by that whole thing, except for passing pillagers that would go through those areas, through those rural areas. Of course, it's a dumb thing to say that they would be left untouched by a thing like this. but they would feel less of all the... I think they would feel less of all the bad things going on. So I think that's a good place to start. Everybody knows what's going on there, and everybody and all the... and they are all suffer from hunger, etc. All the... I don't know why it's North Highlands. I'm trying here. I'm really trying. I'm gonna choose it. It was the North Highlands, a region northeast of Erebonia. Very good, Mr. Schwarzer. Prince Drykal's wanderings led him to the land of Nord, where he lived with the vagabonds for some time. It was there that he heard of the civil war taking place in Erebonia, and those vagabonds of Nord became his very first allies. Yeah, I got it right. Guess he didn't need my help after all. AP increased by 1. That's what we did that for. I'm sorry. I would have rather have been in the situation where I didn't know the answer. Academic points. By making good decisions, acting appropriately, and completing quests, you will gain academic points. When you've accumulated enough AP, your rank will increase the next time you report a quest. There are 15 ranks ranking from B7 to A0, and every time your ranking increases, you will receive a perk from the Academy and will not make it to A0. Despite whatever you're gonna do, I'm not a 100% kind of guy. I always get like 95% and miss the important bits on the side, but there's no way I'll get to 100% here. So yeah. Good luck trying to get me there, but then that's not happening. Yeah, we just received an academic point.
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes. In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library myself.
Of course! This school shuts down for no one. So feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of clubs have meets scheduled for these free days as well, so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
I'll be certain to do so.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week. On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical exam?
What does that entail exactly?
It's part of your combat training. You'll be graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by then. Might be a good idea to do some training on your own time too, just to keep from getting rusty.
Interesting.
I definitely don't like the sound of that.
Oh, and one more thing. After the practical exam is over, I've got another important announcement about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that I haven't mentioned at all yet.
What?
Here it comes.
So, whatever you choose to do on your free day, make it count for something. That concludes today's homeroom. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow.
That's what Emma said in the very beginning today as well. All rise, bow. I'm a little worried about that practical exam next week. I mean, I'm still just getting used to this staff. I'd be happy to help you train if you need a sparring partner. The gymnasium looks big enough that I'm sure we'd have no trouble finding a good spot for it. That's very kind of you to offer, but I was planning on attending club practice today. Oh, you've joined a club already? Which one did you pick? I decided to try for the band. Though I'm not sure how much use they'll have for a violinist. I didn't know you played the violin. Did you just pick it up for fun? Yeah, something like that. How about you guys? Have you joined any of the clubs yet? I'm considering joining the art club. Art, huh? Somehow that's not what I pictured you for. No pun intended. What? No pun pictured for you. Pictured. You probably made a picture. Okay. You have any artistic experience? I dabbled in it back home. Taught myself though, so I feel like this could be a good chance to learn proper technique. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'd love to see some of your work sometime. Oh, good, you're still here. Instructor, is there a problem? No, I was just hoping someone could do a teensy little favor for me. There's something I need picked up from the student council room. Something you need picked up? What would that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. All I'll say is it's something absolutely essential to your school life. And somebody needs to get it, though it doesn't matter who. Any volunteers? Sure, I'll go. If I show up at the student council room and tell them you sent me, they'll know what I'm there for, right? Wait. Are you sure you don't mind? You do have clubs to go to, right? I'm still totally undecided, so this shouldn't be a big deal at all. I can look in on a few clubs myself along the way, in fact. Well, if you really don't mind. Thank you. The student council room is in the student union building next door, at the end of the hall on the second floor. It's open until quite late, so there's no rush. Thank you, my dear. I leave everything in your capable hands. Okay. Woo, I can move. Can I smash stuff? No. No smashing. No talking to blackboards? No. Thing about Dreikels is gone. The student council room's on the second floor of the student union building to the east of here. I'm counting on you. Of course, instructor. Is there a reason you're still here, though? Don't tell anyone, but I actually left the student register in here and forgot all about it. Good thing I remembered, though, otherwise I would have had to sit through another of the vice principal's lectures. She's not exactly a conventional teacher, is she? The student council room's on the second floor of the the student union building to the east of here. Counting on you. Can I get that register of yours? No? No? Okay. Flowers? Looking outside of the window? That's cool. That's actually the schoolyard, isn't it? That's where I came in from. Right back there. That is cool. I can look through the windows. But before we look too much through the windows, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope I'll see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.